Sorry. Hello, class of 2025, and hello to everyone else joining us here today. For those who don't know, my name is Kyndall McRoy, and I'll be honest, speeches aren't really my thing, which might surprise some of you because let's face it, if you know me, all I do is talk. But standing up here is different. That's why I want to start by thanking my class for electing me to speak today. It's an honor to have your trust, and I'm truly grateful for the chance to speak on behalf of our class. I would also like to thank my friends, family, teachers, and mentors who have supported me thus far. I could never put into words how grateful I am for your everlasting encouragement and love. So, on that long-winded note, I should probably start this speech. As many of you know, I have easily the furthest thing from 20/20 vision. I've spent more time than I'd like to admit squinting at signs, poking at my eyes, and confidently waving back at people who probably weren't even waving at me. But believe it or not, my eyesight used to be fine, sort of. That was until the end of my sophomore year when I suffered a corneal abrasion. The timing could not have been worse. That year, our ultimate Frisbee team had made it to high school nationals and we were flying out in less than a week. So there I was, blurry-eyed, in pain, left with a choice. Either stay home and let my eyes rest, or go to Salt Lake City and play in the biggest tournament of my career. Naturally, I chose option 2. Was it the smartest decision? Definitely not. Was I in pain the whole time? Absolutely. But do I regret it? Not at all. Because something unexpected happened. That moment, when my vision literally failed me, is when I truly started noticing. I think a part of me had been struggling to see clearly long before that. I always knew I was different. I never felt that primal urge to seek connection the way others seemed to. I had my few people, and that was enough. But often in that quiet contentment, I'd burned with the shame of not belonging. Always on the outside looking in, unsure of how to step through the glass. Even back in 6th grade when I came to SAS, I knew a few names and a few more faces, but not enough to feel rooted, not enough to feel safe. And just as I began to find my voice, to emerge from the shell I'd spent years building, COVID hit. The world had shut down. The small cracks of connection I'd finally begun to open slammed shut. And for a long time, I had taken that as a sign. Maybe I was not meant to belong. Maybe I wasn't worthy of community. Nationals was supposed to be a celebration, my turning point, my chance to become the person I had been working to grow into so long. Instead, I had felt lost. Not just from the injury, but by what it uncovered. The fear that my vision might never fully return was scarier than the pain. So I knew I had to start seeing differently. I began to notice how people moved, how they laughed, the feeling of their presence, the little details that made each person real and unforgettable. During that tournament, I began to hear the smile in Zahira's voice. I saw the way the corner of Fauché's eyes crinkle when the sun was just a bit too bright. I noticed how my sister's laugh would echo before she even entered a room. If I do lose my vision completely someday, I do want to carry with me the outlines of every face that I love, to hold them in the dark and still know exactly who they are. And by junior year, a clock had started ticking. Time was no longer something I could take for granted. That urgency, that quiet fear of running out of time, is what finally pushed me to open up, to really see people. I began connecting with people who made my SAS days brighter, the ones I'd somehow overlooked, even as they stood right beside me. We went from hallway nods to late-night calls, cramming Barton's history note cards and laughing at nothing at all. EJ and I went from sitting silently in our improv class to changing our entire schedules to have just one class together. Henry and I went from total strangers to running to rush hour every day after school. I started convincing Steven to spend his free block in my stats class. Not to tutor me or anything, but just so me and Jacob could rapid-fire weekend plans at him and hope he'd cave to just one. Some of us shared a whole world on the Vietnam trip, a trip I'd never forget. Our teachers made SAS a home too. Cheyenne would stay during lunch and help me with my math problems and attempt to knock some sense into me. Brandon, Alicia, and Jared would let me mill around in their office and talk their ear off about anything and everything. Sorry, Danielle. Ty would push me to my limits, believing in me in a way no one has before. And Caldwell? He made every call to get me the eye drops I needed on the Yukon and made sure I had an unforgettable experience. So when I showed up to basketball senior night fresh out of the hospital, something my mom was far from happy about, that's when it really hit me. This place and these people are something rare. I cared enough to run straight from a hospital bed to school just to be there for the people who mean the world to me. That's when I knew this wasn't just a school, this was a community. A place where I felt safe asking for help, where being seen wasn't just about being noticed, it was about being known. And that's what I'll miss the most. Not the grades or deadlines, not the smartboards I couldn't read, not even the nights my eyes would burn so much all I could do was cry. I'll miss the laughter, the inside jokes, the shared meals and hallway nods, the feeling that someone, somewhere in this building, always had my back. So, class of 2025, as we head into whatever comes next, my biggest wish for all of us is this: that we keep seeing people, not just with our eyes, but with our hearts. That we notice the little things, the sparks, the quirks, the hopes and dreams, and that we remember how powerful it is to be truly seen, and how sacred it is to see others in return. And that we keep this community, what we've built together, alive in the way we treat the next people we meet. So, text your friends when you land the job, send those random snap memories, say hi and wave when you pass each other, even if someone squints a little too hard while waving back. And as I always say, keep your head up, class of 2025. Thank you.